Hello and welcome back to my channel. Just going to do a quick update video on the start of this Lego city. Doesn't resemble much of a city at the moment, which I wanted this to be like a separate part for the city, as it's going to be quite high up. So I want the city down here, but then I want this bit to be connected to it in a way, but like separate. So while I'm waiting for parts and pieces, I'm going to do a slight bit of improvement on this part again. I've already done the improvement part on this cabin. Filled in some of the stud work on here in the past as well. Filled it with more vegetation so it looks a little bit more better and barely studs showing. So what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to take up some of these green plates and put down the brown ones to kind of seem like it's an everyday trail, so it's not the grass is worn away, so it's just a muddy brown trail. So I've got some reddish brown plates, so I'm just going to basically pop up some of these green ones, put some brown ones going all the way up to the end of here. As you can probably see, there's no first piece, the bit of a hill and the waterfall, as that is now here under some improvements and more work. As you can see, the water river is finished. Made some improvements to that bit, and then there's a lot of vegetation from here now, and once again the brown muddy trail going up to the river with, at the moment, just a fallen log, which for now it can look like that, but I'm going to try and make it a bit more tree looking, probably some branches hanging off it, but that's how it's looking at the moment. I've added some rock work as well. Kind of didn't want it just to be grass and then just take one step off the grass and then straight into the river, so I'm kind of giving it a bit of a rocky edging, so it's not as simple as just one step off the green and then straight into the water. So that is what's going on with that at the moment, and then I'm going to do the improvements up by the cabin. Now there's a bit of a dirt trail, still not too bad. There's a few sharp edges, but I'm going to use some vegetation now and cover the edging so you won't have much of these straight lines. Probably have wasted a lot of green tiles or plates. Probably have wasted a fair bit just to try and make these angles when I probably could have just hidden it with vegetation. Well, I'll see how it looks. That is my progress for today. I'll say it was a quick video. This took me about half an hour. So we've now got like a muddy foot trail that the cabin user would take often. So there's no grass there. Kind of smoothed the edging out now with the vegetation, so you don't see too many straight lines. Don't look too bad. I put a few brown plates on top of the other brown bits just to make it a bit of a bumpy footpath. I'll add a few more at some point. Just don't want it to be a complete smooth flat surface. But we are getting a fair bit of vegetation now. Definitely liking these 6 stemmed grass pieces. They look a lot more busy rather than just the 3. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad now. I think it'll get a lot better when the other parts attach back up to here. And then I just need to start adding some of these 3-leafed bits to the trees to pack them all out to fill it out rather than just looking like a giant bonsai tree. So I'll start filling some of them trees out, try and make it a bit more greeny, a bit more busier and a lot less see-through. Give it more of a live looking tree rather than dead. Still need to smoothen out some of the hill on the cabin. I've not found a place to put the bear yet for a home. And that is the cabin as it is in a minute. Again, not too... I don't mind the cabin looking like that, but I think it could probably do with looking a bit better. But again, I'll probably do that off camera and just do a before and after picture. But yeah, I think this is looking a bit empty and plain at the minute. Very blocky as well, but I think eventually if I can again put a bit brown coming down this way, leading to there, but then fill the rest of this as it is like that, definitely set it all off nicely. So that is my end video, just a little quick improvements again. Probably not much progress happening at the moment, but progress is better than no progress. It is coming along together, this bit. I mean, once I get that end piece done, I am waiting for parts for that end piece, but once that's done, comes down to there, and then I can start the base plate, which is set up ready there. So I can start working on that bottom base plate, and then I can start adding roads. Well, not adding roads, but laying out a road, and then do the road layout, and then I can start adding buildings to start making this a city. So if you enjoyed this video, not expecting much, but give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you want to see the progress of this, and I'll catch you on my next build. Thanks.